Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, debt slaves, serfs, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And so I want to talk about this whole withholding of SNAP benefits, which is amazing to me that they're doing this. Because of course the first thing that comes to mind about this, 42 million Americans are having all their SNAP benefits paused. And there's a lot of jockeying going on right now. And Trump made one statement that he was going to challenge court rulings that said he had to pay SNAP benefits. And then recently he did appeal it, and the court granted him a stay. And so once again, for the rest of November, most of those 42 million people will not be receiving SNAP benefits. I noticed in Washington State, the state government stepped in and they fully funded EBT cards here, but we'll see if that becomes a national trend. But the first thing I want to say about it is that it's amazing that 59% of immigrants are on SNAP benefits. And that's to be expected. And then we also have a lot of illegals that get SNAP benefits. And I don't deny that the EBT program needs to be addressed. There are some issues with it. Of course, one is the generational welfare system of EBT that's given to struggling people in the United States. And not only is there a lot of fraud, and apparently 700,000 people were dropped from the EBT rolls recently because of fraud, but this encouragement to not work and to continue making babies and then getting EBT, there's a problem there because, of course, there's no work requirement. And when you have child after child after child, your EBT benefits go up. I saw a lot of videos out there of single mothers, one that had 7 kids, and she gets $4,000 a month in EBT. And you know a lot of that money's not going to food. But compared to what normal Americans have to deal with, including myself, with the cost of groceries now, it's really hard to afford. And I don't necessarily get a lot of groceries during the month, but I know there's a lot of mouths to feed when you got a single mother and 7 kids, but $4,000 a month is a huge amount to be given for somebody that's not willing to work. And I would even suggest that to cut off the encouragement to milk the system, if you continue to have kids and you're on EBT, there should be some questions and possible denial or reduction of benefits. And another problem with EBT, of course, is with this inflationary environment. I know they talk about 7 or 8% under Biden and 2 to 3% now. But anybody that goes into grocery stores can see that not only have the packages gotten smaller, but prices on a lot of things have actually doubled. I happen to like these prepared meals by Saffron Road, and they used to be about 3.5 bucks a piece, which it was well worth it to get something interesting um, and flavorful and exotic for 3.50, and it helped stretch my food budget for the month. But now they're nearly $8, so that's more than doubling. And then of course not only have the containers gotten smaller, but the amount of ingredients are a lot less too. So the fact that there's no adjustment in EBT for inflation means that the amount of money that people get doesn't go near as far. In fact, goes half as far as it used to, say, 2 or 3 years ago. And so that's sort of an issue. It seems like, in some respects, that EBT should be tied, and just like Social Security with COLA raises, if there's an inflationary environment where groceries are outrageous, then EBT amounts should go up to a certain extent. But the things I'm concerned about as far as EBT, first of all, both the Republicans and the Democrats are using uh, the leverage of punishing 42 million people that are using EBT for their political partisan games. And I think that's absolutely shameful. And I blame both sides equally because they're both equally using the suffering. And this whole idea that they can't fund EBT during the shutdown is really pretty egregious lie, because in all the other government shutdowns that we've had, EBT continued to be paid. And I also have a problem with the fact that paychecks for people working in the airline industry and federal workers and even the military are being cut off because the government shut down. But Congress still gets paid. And Senator Kennedy recently introduced some legislation to change that, that if there's a government shutdown, congressmen don't get paid. I can guarantee you that if they managed to pass something like that and congressmen didn't get paid during shutdowns, we wouldn't be having them. So those are all issues. And but my concern right now is a couple things. And one is the fact that a huge portion of money is being taken out of the economy, and this is going to hurt a lot of grocery stores particularly, but it's also going to hurt everybody involved in the supply chain and all the companies making food. So it's going to have a huge economic impact right off the bat, since it's $8 billion a month to finance EBT, to have $8 billion and then everything associated with it, making it rise to perhaps 10, 15, 20 billion dollars being removed from the economy is going to be a high economic price to pay. And then we also have the fact that, as anyone can see from all the TikTok videos that are being posted, we have a lot of people talking about the fact that they're not going to go hungry. They're going to go out and steal food anywhere they can get it. And I don't take those threats idly. There's a lot of retail and grocery theft going on anyway. But people that are going to be very desperate if they have all their food benefits cut off, they're not in any position to somehow make up for the loss of these benefits. So a lot of people are definitely going to go hungry. But I can see if this continues to go on, there's going to be a huge surge in retail and grocery theft, and perhaps even a national crime wave. And I think it's really terrible that it's come to that, but it's realistic and in some ways justifiable. I mean, if you're used to getting $4,000 a month and you got 7 kids, and all of a sudden you have no money coming in on EBT, you're going to get desperate and you're going to do what it takes to put some food on the table. And then the last but not least is the fact that it's kind of funny how the United States government can come up with the money to give Israel $1.6 trillion since 1973. We give them something like $38 billion for funding the genocide in Gaza. And most recently we had, what was it, $40 billion given to bail out Argentina. And of course that money is just going to go to Argentina and then go straight back to hedge funds. They're the ones that stand to lose in Argentina. But it's a no-brainer. $40 billion bailout for Argentina, and they can't come up with $8 billion a month for EBT until the government shutdown opens. And that's a travesty. So this whole idea that Trump is America first seems to be undermined by this. And it's just really unbelievable, and it's illegal. That's another bottom line, is that technically it's illegal for the government to deny these entitlement programs, even with a government shutdown. So anyway, prepare for some, on top of the fact that we're going to have 42 million Americans not only food insecure, but perhaps starving, but we're also going to have a huge economic impact and probably a national crime wave. I'm a useful idiot, don't you be one too.